What's going on, freaks and geeks? It's your boy, Matt Benz. And welcome into Benzys Bit, episode number 13. We're here, man. We're just chugging through this thing called life. It's about mid-August. I'm getting married in about a month. There's a lot going on right now, but the one thing that is for sure is we just keep moving on. One day at a time, we just keep going. And 1 week at a time, you guys keep tuning in to Benzys Bit. I appreciate that. Once again, I do represent the RTF Sports Network. You can listen to me on Fridays at 1 p.m. Central, or just tune into RTF at any time during the week at 1 p.m. Central for either myself, Mike Reeves, a co-host from Twist. He does Mike on the Mic. Or you can catch Green Bay Greg's show. I don't know why you do that unless you reside in Wisconsin. I'm just kidding. It's a great show, packed full. So once again, RTF Sports Network, bunch of shows. But if you're going to really dial it in, grab a lunch break at about 1 p.m. Central and check out all the Twist Sports Talk umbrella shows. All right. At Twist Benz is my Twitter handle. That's where you can catch all of my hilarious takes, 100% factual opinions. I'm feeling a little feisty today. The coffee's coming in hot. That's what I like to feel. I like to feel that warm, cuddly fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, my air conditioner is working. Didn't have that all weekend. I am the type of person that would prefer to live in the Arctic 12 months out of the year. Winter is my favorite season. I love that. I love the snow. I love walking outside and breathing out, and you're seeing your breath and your nostrils are frozen shut. I love that shit. And right now it's been about 80 to 90 degrees, steady humidity, high dew point, sweat your balls right when you walk outside, ass crack sweat every time you get up from a seat. Ugh. And I live in Minnesota here, people. This is supposed to be the tundra. Where's it at? I just pray that on my wedding day, it's about let's say 62, 65 degrees in September. I don't see it happening, but God is good, right? All right. So what I'm going to start you guys out with is my breakdown. That was not my breakdown. That was just my mental breakdown. So there's that. My breakdown this week is going to be on my top 10 sports movies. Really, I'm going to read a movie. Exciting. The quote is, remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Follow your heart, kid, and you can never go wrong. Beautiful. Now, a lot of you guys are going to hear this rattling bullshit in the background of my podcast right now. That's just my cat, Gus, just constantly fucking with my podcast vibes. Hold on. Jesus. Gus, come on. It's this fucking thing that I invest in. Why I do that. Now he's all over the fucking table. Get down, Gus. Oh, my God. We're getting through it. All right. At number 9, I have Friday Night Lights. The quote is, being perfect is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship with yourself, your family, and your friends. Being perfect is about being able to look your friends in the eye and know that you didn't let them down because you told them the truth. And that truth is you did everything you could. There wasn't one more thing that you could have done. Can you live in that moment as best you can with clear eyes and love in your heart, with joy in your heart? If you can do that, gentlemen, you're perfect. Friday Night Lights at number 9. At number 8, Happy Gilmore. Potter, the hippie friend, says, a lot of pressure. You got to rise above it. You've got to harness in the good energy, block out the bad. Harness Energy, block, bad. Feel the flow. Feel it? It's circular. It's like a carousel. You pay the quarter, you get on the horse, it goes up and down and around. Circular, circle. With the music, the flow, all good things. All right, Happy Gilmore at number 8. At number 7, I've got Warrior. If you haven't seen Warrior with Tom Hardy, it's about the brothers that do the MMA fighting against each other in this huge tournament. Just a great storyline, great acting. Go catch it out. But this is a quote from his father, who is Tom Hardy's trainer. He says, all right, but you got to get something through your skull too. You called me. So don't go threatening to walk every 5 minutes. And since this is about training, you dump whatever it is you need to dump as far as those pills are concerned. I don't want to see them. In fact, hand them over right now. I know they're on you, Tommy. You sounded like a goddamn maraca coming through the door. Brilliant. At number 6, I got Rocky. Beautiful, beautiful flick. Didn't make my top 5. Let's see here. He states, let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It is a very mean and nasty place, and it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Love that one. At number 5, I've got Moneyball. Billy Beane, GM of the A's, says to David Justice, he says, you think you're special? David Justice says, well, you are paying me $8 million a year. So yeah, Billy Beane responds, no, we aren't paying you. The Yankees are paying half of your salary. The Yankees are paying you $4 million to play against them. Beautiful quote. At number 4, I have Rudy. Mike Reeves, Mike on the mic, Greg Bauman, they love Rudy. Okay. So I didn't do the quote that Mike always likes to do, that he likes to frickin' roll around and crouch down in his chair and get all feisty with it. I'm not going to do that quote. I'm going to do this one. Well, you know what my dad always said? Having dreams is what makes life tolerable. Rudy at number 4. At number 3, I've got Remember the Titans. Coach Herman Boone says, we will be perfect in every aspect of the game. You drop a pass, you run a mile. You miss a blocking assignment, you run a mile. You fumble the football, and I will break my foot off in your John Brown hind parts, and then you will run a mile. Perfection. Let's get to work. Ooh, that just makes the hair stand up on your arms. At number 2, I am a hockey player, so therefore I pick Slapshot. Slapshot is the first movie I ever saw with titties in it. Thanks, Dad. Slapshot at number 2. Reggie Dunlap says, I am personally placing a $100 bounty on the head of Tim McCracken. He's the head coach and chief punk on that Syracuse team. Beautiful quote. At number 1, the GOAT, Miracle. So 1 and 2, I've got hockey movies. Now, Greg is probably appalled right now. He's probably puking. But he loves Miracle, and so does his dad, Chief Bauman. So at number 1, I have Miracle, and the quote is, when you pull on that jersey, you represent yourself and your teammates. And the name on the front is a hell of a lot more important than the one on the back. Amen to that. So that is my top 10 sports movie list. 10, Happy Gilmore. 7, Warrior. 6, Rocky. 5, Moneyball. 4, Rudy. 3, Remember the Titans. 2, Slapshot. And 1, Miracle. And that will do it for the breakdown of the week. Now, transitioning into the baller of the week. These baller and bonehead ones are tough, man, but I'm going to go with it. So I had to kind of stretch, but I went for my baller of the week being Randy, the Uber driver, mustache-wearing, phenom, rookie pitcher, Dobnak. What a nickname. Randy Dobnak, the rookie pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. So right now, Randy owns the lowest ERA among qualified starters in the major leagues at .90. Yeah. Past Uber driver, rookie, Minnesota Twins pitcher. So for once and for all, for a Minnesota pitcher, period, to be contending for the lowest ERA, that's impressive because our pitching is so sporadic. We've got a guy named Jose Barrios who can't fucking throw a fastball across the plate, but we've got an Uber driver, mustache, handlebar wearing Randy Dobnak who's got .90 in the majors right now. All right. So he allowed 1 run on 4 hits in 5 innings against the struggling Milwaukee offense. The only blemish on his ledger was a 2-out RBI double in the second inning by Orlando Arcia that hit off the wall and just out of reach out of a leaping Rosario who shouldn't even be an outfielder to begin with. But he is because you can't place him anywhere else on defense. Getting back to Dobnak, the 25-year-old Dobnak has allowed 2 runs in 20 innings across his 4 starts this season. Good for you, Randy. You made the show. Your life has been complete. On to the bonehead of the week. My bonehead is going to be Giancarlo Stanton. Yay! I love it when Giancarlo Stanton is my bonehead of the week. This is going to be an interesting one because I hate the Yankees. I'm a Twins fan. I hate the Yankees. It comes hand in hand. And he has a hamstring injury. He's always injured, and now he's expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks with the hamstring injury. Stanton was placed on the 10-day IL Sunday. Now, keep in mind what my headline was. He's expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks, but he was placed on the 10-day IL because it's a hamstring injury, and you never know. Since Giancarlo Stanton is made out of glass, I would expect for him to miss the remainder of the season. Keep in mind, the former National League MVP was limited to just 18 games last season because of multiple injuries, but was off to a good start this season. Batting .293, 3 home runs in his first 14 games. Yeah, he was killing it. He was on my I brought him up on my show last week when I talked about the Yankees being my number 1 in the power rankings. Thank God. The Yankees shouldn't have him. He shouldn't be in the lineup. It makes it that much more fair. But you know what's going to happen. He'll come back for the postseason. They'll sweep the Twins, and my hatred will boil even more for the Yankees. So there's that. Bonehead of the week. Congratulations, Giancarlo. Put some ice on it. Rub some dirt on it. Grow the fuck up. All right. On to the buzz. These are the current events that are sweeping the universe of sports. Trailblazers' Damian Lillard scored 61 points in critical win over the Mavericks. Damian Lillard last night launched from 33 feet and could only watch and wait as the ball caromed off the back of the rim and shot straight up into the air. With the fate of the game and his Portland Trailblazers' frantic playoff push hanging in the balance, it took a shooter's bounce, and the late 3 gave Lillard 61 points, tying his career high, and propelled the Blazers to a 134-131 win over the Mavericks on Tuesday. As Dame relished the victory that rested sole possession of 8th place in the Western Conference standings, away from the Memphis Grizzlies with 1 seeding game to go. Courtside cameras captured the All-Star making a demand. What would his demand be? He said, "Put some respect on my fucking name." He said it over and over and over again. As teammates and coaches came over to congratulate him, he said, "Put some respect on my fucking name." Dame, the hottest player in basketball right now, right? He's had so many times, and when you put him in those crucial games, he lights up, and he's got that it factor. It's too bad he plays for Portland. That's sad in of itself. Anywhere else, he could be one of the top. He is already one of the top guards in the NBA. He could be the top guard anywhere else. Anywhere else. Give the man some love. McCollum ain't that love. All right. So good for Dame. Congratulations to them. On to college football. Big Ten. Knicks' fall college football season. Eyes the spring. Kevin Warren, Big Ten commissioner, told ESPN on Tuesday, because we announced the schedule does not mean we're going to play. As you gather information on a daily basis, that's what day-to-day is. We have to still plan. By organizing schedules and making announcements, we made it very clear. That is what Kevin Warren was saying when it appeared that a lot of people thought when they came out with the schedule 7 days ago now, that meant that they would be playing a season. And he stated later, trends have not improved. They've become worse. You add that up and you're getting ready to go into more formal practice. It's just a level it is just a level of not only concerns, but unknown risks at large. We're dealing with the health of human beings. It's serious. Later Tuesday, the Pac-12 presidents and chancellors followed the Big Ten's lead and also voted to postpone the conference fall sports season, including football. Bummer. On to the ACC and SEC, they say that plans for football remain unchanged. Basically, big middle fingers to the Pac-12 and the Big Ten. SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey said in a statement, I look forward to learning more about the factors that led the Big Ten and Pac-12 leadership to take those actions today. I remain comfortable with the thorough and deliberate approach that the SEC and our 14 members are taking to support a healthy environment for our student athletes. We continue to further refine our policies and protocols for a safe return to sports as we monitor developments around COVID-19 in a continued effort to support, educate, and care for our student athletes every day. So they're running it. The South could give a fuck. They realize that football is what fuels their economy. They realize that, I know Green Bay Greg probably talked about this on his show. I didn't watch it because I go to bed at a way too early of a time during the week because I work way too early. But basically, when you take away football, right, and you still run classes for the students, what people don't understand is the tuition is going to skyrocket because football is what pays for the majority of everything in a college, especially in the Big Ten, especially in the Pac-12, SEC, yada, yada, yada. So you factor that in, everybody thinks, all football does is they give scholarships out and they build new stadiums. Like, no, that's not it. They pay for all the luxuries on campus. That's why if you look at some of these franchises, these dynasties, like if you look at in Alabama, if you look at places like that, go check out some of the state schools in that area. They're garbage. They're freaking garbage. And then you go to these Taj Mahal, mansion, gaudy, bougie universities, and that's because they got these sweet football programs that bring in huge money. All right, so out of college football, let's go on to baseball. Athletics Ramon Laureano suspended for 6 games. Astros hitting coach Alex Cintron suspended 20 games. First and foremost, Alex Cintron should be suspended for the remainder of the season because his team can't hit the broadside of a barn. But on to the next. After being hit by a pitch for the 3rd time in the series and 2nd time in the game, Laureano pantomimed toward Astros pitcher how to properly snap off a slider. Then, while walking to first base, Cintron uttered an expletive at him, basically saying something about his mother. That's the rumor, right? Then Laureano backtracked and said back another expletive, which created a bench clearing brawl. No big deal, right? I mean, it's just the Astros being the Astros. Now they're throwing the ball at people, causing a ruckus. And their hitting coach can't even mind his manners. He should be sheltered. He should be in the clubhouse crying because his team can't hit. Anyways, those are the suspensions. Cintron later accepted his suspension. I'm surprised the Astros actually got a suspension, but they did. He said he'll learn from this, and he acknowledged that his actions were inappropriate. Good for him. On to hockey, Braden Point gives the Lightning win over Blue Jackets after 5 overtimes. Jonas Capasalo makes 85 saves. Now, I used to be a goalie. 85 saves is crazy, and I'll get to those stats, but just 85 saves. Most goalies on a given night will have anywhere between 20 and 30, 30 being a high point, right? You expect if a goalie makes 30-plus saves, you got the W. That's crazy. But listen to some of these stats about this game. After 6 hours, 5 overtimes, and a combined 151 shots on goal, the Tampa Bay Lightning won an epic Game 1 against the Columbus Blue Jackets on Tuesday night. It was the 4th longest playoff game in NHL history. That's amazing in of itself. Think of a hockey game that's going to go longer than 6 hours, and this one did. And it was only the 4th longest game. Holy cow. So long that the Boston Bruins and Carolina Hurricanes game, which was originally slated for 8 p.m. Eastern, was rescheduled for Wednesday today at 11 a.m. because it takes about 90 minutes to disinfect the benches, clean the ice between the games, warm-ups, yada, yada, right? So their game was pushed because of this barn burner that occurred last night. Blue Jackets goaltender Jonas Capasalo made 85 saves, a new NHL record, topping New York Islanders goaltender Kenny Hurdley, previous mark of 73 saves in 1987. Columbus blocked 62 shots in the game. That's nuts. Crazy. It's crazy. The Blue Jackets goalie had 85 saves. Imagine if 62 of those shots that were blocked by players actually made it to the net. Crazy. The Lightning alone tallied 88 shots on goal, as many as the New York Rangers had combined in their 3 games against the Hurricanes in the qualifying round. 3 games against the Hurricanes, the New York Rangers had 88 shots. Well, the Lightning alone had that last night. Just nuts. Crazy. Playoff hockey. Oh. I was watching on Twitter where all these people were sharing about this, right? Like, oh my God, this game is going to go on forever. You need to change the rules. And then you got the diehard hockey fans who are just on the edge of their seat the whole time, loving life. All right, last but not least, we'll go on to Benzys Bite. So me and my fiance, I told you about the air conditioner going out, right? So we went and stayed the night at Mystic Lake Hotel on Saturday night. And I'm like, okay, let's be bougie. Let's go to the steakhouse. So first and foremost, I give the steakhouse 5 stars. But on a side note, it better get 5 stars because it was not affordable. It was not cheap. It was intense. So I got a ribeye. She got the filet. We both got baked potato asparagus. Did the thing. It was expensive, but it was worth it. It was a treat. Just celebrated 4 years sober, so I figured, why not? Let's treat ourselves. Let's go big. Let's enjoy ourselves. So, hotel room, 170-something. Bill for dinner, 170-something. That's for 2 people. And we each lost 100 in the casino. But it was fun. It was fun. It was a little daycation, and the air conditioner worked, so that's all that matters. So that is Benzys Bit for the week. Once again, you can follow me on Twitter at TwistBenz, and make sure to watch us on Saturday. It's going to be a little later of a show, but make sure to follow us on Facebook. That way you get that notification for our live show this Saturday. Twist, the Week in Sports Talk. Once again, I am Matt Benz, and I hope you have a blessed rest of the week.